Hey, my name's Izzy. This is Rolling Virtual Cards, coming at you live with another Magic the Gathering deck build. This time, Atraxa Infinity. Or Infinity. Infect. Atraxa Infect. Infect, yes, gross. Disgusting, no one likes it. Several different ways to do poison counter decks. Infect is the aggressive attack you until you die. Usually target one opponent. So, Atraxa, we're going to go over her very, very quickly, because I go over it every single time, because I'm making 28 of these decks. Atraxa Predator's voice is green, white, blue, black, so sans red, 4/4 Angel Horror with Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, and at the beginning of your end step, Proliferate, which means you choose any number of permits or players, and put a 1/1 counter on it. Not a 1/1 counter. Put an additional kind of counter on it for each counter on it. So, in this case, poison counters. If your opponent's got a poison counter, boom, they got 2 poison counters. Or if you put 1/1 counters on your creatures, because Infect is equal to the number of damage you would deal, boom, more damage, more Infect, more death. Why would you want Atraxa Infect? Because it's one of the original Atraxa styles of decks, okay? You literally just hit your opponent, then put a time counter on them, okay? Very aggressive deck for the people who want to just not have friends. Mind you, Atraxa is one thing that all other Infect decks don't do, which is you gotta back up in case you kill one person. Killing one person sucks, because then they're bored and everyone hates you, and then they take you out so that you can feel their pain. So you want to get everyone to like 8 Infect or 8 poison counters or 9, and then kill them all at once with Atraxa's in-step count. So let's go over the cards. Sword of Truth and Justice. These are the +1/+1 counter cards, by the way. Sword of Truth and Justice is 3 generic for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and protection from white and blue. Whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on creature control, then Proliferate. That Proliferate, absolutely fantastic. The 1/1 counter, again, because of how Infect works, makes them bigger. Next, Atraxa getting protection from white and blue is great. It's harder to bounce it, and it can't die to the swords. Or not to the swords, to the 1 draw, to any white or blue removal. And making it a 6/6 is great for life gain. Because you're not going to win by regular damage in this deck. A Tribute to the World Tree is great. 3 green for an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under control, draw a card if its power is 3 or greater. Otherwise, put 2 1/1 counters on it. Most of your creatures aren't powered 3 or greater, so they're just going to get 2 1/1 counters on it, which means if their power is 1, they become a 3/3, and if it's 2, they become a 4/4. Lots of more Infect damage, and on top of all of that, if they do happen to be bigger, you're drawing a card. Let's get to the -1/-1 counters, which, by the way, is Infect. Just to let you know, because Infect also deals damage in the form of -1/-1 counters. So if an opponent blocks it, their creatures still get smaller. And with Atraxa, it means they disappear, making them really hesitant to block it until they have to. Glistener Elf is a green for a 1/1 Infect. That's it. That's all it is. Just get it out there, hit them. Tainted Strike. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gets Infect into their turn. You give Atraxa Infect. So now it's a 5/4 with Infect. Take 5 Infect, because it's got flying. Blight Mamba's 1/1 with Infect, and 1 in a green, regenerate it. Absolutely fantastic. Simple way to just keep it up and keep going. Blight Agent is 1/1 Infect and is unblockable or cannot be blocked. Can't be blocked. Absolutely fantastic way to just get in and hit people. As long as they've got 1 Infect, Atraxa will do her job. Contagious Clasp is 2 artifacts. When it enters the battlefield, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, which means it will die to Atraxa eventually. And 4 tap Proliferate. Again, if you can proliferate enough, you can just kill your opponents. Felon Smart is a 1/1 Infect and lifelink. So you're going to hit them and you're going to gain life. Cool. Glistening Oil is an enchantment. The enchant creature has Infect, and at the beginning of it can be put a -1/- counter on it, and then if it would be put in the grave from the battlefield, return it to your hand. Yes, Atraxa will slowly die, but it's a way to get a lot of Infect out quickly. Icor Mare is 2 for a 1/1 Phyrexian Mare with Infect, and when it becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until the turn, meaning it'll deal 4, or it'll put 3 -1/-1 counters on them. Lost Lionin is 1 in a white for a 2/1 Cat Soldier with Infect. Cool, look at that. More Infect. Necropolitan's 1/1 Infect, and if it would put in the graveyard, put a -1/- counter on target creature. Phoresis is another just great. 1 in a black, enchant creature, it has Infect. Plague Mirror, Infect, 1/1, taps for a colorless. Plague Stinger, 1 in a black, 1/1, flying, Infect. Ichor Rat, 1 and 2 black for a 2/1 rat with Infect. And if it enters the battlefield, each opponent gets a poison counter. That's another deck we're going to go over later on. It's just poison counters. You'll check it out. It's one of my favorite decks I've ever built, specifically for Atraxa. But with this one, they all get a poison counter, including you. Don't target yourself. But, yeah, like, it's kind of gross because now they all have a poison counter, so Atraxa's going to win eventually. Phyrexian Crusaders, 1 and 2 black for a 2/2 zombie. It has first strike, protection from red and white, and Infect. Rot Wolf, 2 and a blue, 2 and a green for a 2/2 with Infect. And if a creature dealt damage or able for this turn will be put in the graveyard, you draw a card. So if they do choose to chump block it, you draw a card. Septic Rats, 2 and 2 black for a 2/2 rat with Infect. And when it attacks, if defending player is poisoned, it gets +1/+1, making it a 3/3. More Infect, more damage, more death. Whispering Spectre is 1 and 2 black for a 1/1 Spectre with flying Infect. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, that player discards a card for each poison counter he or she has. And this is a great way to just go, oh, you have 6 poison counters? Lose your hand. You're out of the game, dude. Blight Widow is 3 and a green for a 2/4 with reach. And in fact, this is great because if you don't swing with it by the way, but if you don't, they don't want to attack you because their guy's going to get smaller. Corpse Courier is 4 generic for a 2/2 hound with Infect, and when it enters the battlefield, you may return target creature card from your great with Infect to your hand. Great recursion, great way to just keep hitting. Flesh Eater Imp is 3 and a black for a 2/2 flying Infect, and sacrifice creature, it gets +1/+1 counter until end turn. If they choose not to block Flesh Eater Imp, or they can't, and they've got like 4 Infect ready, sack 4 creatures and kill them. Hand of the Praetors, 3 and a black for a 3/2 with Infect, and other creatures with Infect get +1/+1. More Infect, more death. Whenever you cast a creature spell with Infect, target player gets a poison counter. More Infect, more death. And Contagion Engine is just a bigger version of the other engine. It comes into the field, put a -1/- counter on each creature target player controls, and for 4 you can tap it and proliferate twice. Which again, more Infect, more death. Now, if we continue, ETBs, we went over some of these, but Eternal Witness, return a card to your hand, get that good Infect card back. Ichor Rats, great ETB. Just give them poison counters. Try Tribute to the World Tree, either get all these guys bigger, and as you notice, a lot of them, even the bigger ones, are 2. So all of a sudden, 4 Infect, more death. Verdant Corruption, Infect, and when it enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact. Did this not get -1/-1 counter? It didn't. Boo. Boo. Hiss. Hiss. I missed stuff. Anyway. But it's great being able to pop an artifact. And then Guardian Project, great way to draw cards. When a non-token creature enters the battlefield under control, if you don't control another creature with the same name in your graveyard, draw a card. You don't, because you're not. It's Commander. 1 Magecraft, again being whenever you cast something, that's what I use it for. It's actually an actual ability, but it gets the point across. Whenever you cast a creature with Infect, target player gets it. Ramp Package, this is the same as almost every other one of my Atraxa decks, for the most part. Birds, taps for any color. Wayfarer grabs you a basic. Arcane, taps for any color. Farseek grabs you a non-forest. Fellsword Stone basically taps for any color. Plague's Mirror taps for a colorless. Rampant Growth grabs you a basic. Steve grabs you a basic. Chromatic Lantern taps for any color and makes your lands tap for any color. Commander Sphere can tap for any color, and you can sacrifice it to draw a card, which means you can tap it for a color and then sack it to draw a card. Cultivate and Kodama's Reach both do the same thing, allowing you to grab 2 basics, 1 on the field, 1 in your hand. Glistening Sphere is 3 generic, and it comes to the battlefield tap, but when it's the battlefield you proliferate, which means, say it with me, more Infect, more death. Add 1 mana of any color, and Corrupted, so you tap it and add 3 mana of any one color, activate only if an opponent has 3 more poison counters, which will happen very quickly, making it a really good card. And Staff of Completion is 3 generic for an artifact. Tap it, pay 1 life, destroy target permanent you own. Can be useful in certain decks. Tap it, pay 2 life, add a mana of any color. Tap it and pay 3 life, proliferate. Tap it and pay 4 life, draw a card. Pay 5, untap Staff of Completion. Again, that proliferate. Say it with me again. More infect, more death. And yes, I have paid 5 twice to proliferate 3 times and win the game. Do not doubt that. Vraska Betrayal's Sting. 4 black, Phyrexian black, which means 2 life or a black. 6 loyalty Vraska or completed, which means if you choose to pay the 2 life instead, it comes in with 2 fewer loyalty. So either 6 for a 6 loyalty or 5 for a 4 loyalty. For 0, you can draw a card, lose a life, and proliferate. Absolutely fantastic ability. -2, target creature becomes a treasure token. With tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color, loses all other card types and abilities. Great way to just remove a problematic card. And -9, if a target player has fewer than 9 poison counters, that card, they get a number of poison counters equal to the difference. So if they're at 1, hey look, now you're not. With all the proliferate, you can get to the 9 so easily in the stack. So you can just 0, get it to 7, then it goes to 8 with your opponents, with your Atraxa, and then you like staff or drop glistening sphere, and now it's at 9. You can just go, oh yeah, you that I only put like, you have fewer than 9 counters. Yeah, you have 0. No, now you're at 9. You die at the end of this turn. Bye. Recurrence. Those are the 2 recurrence. We went over them. No important lands, just generic cheap lands. We went over the accidental life gain here because lifelink, and the anthem in the combo. There's a stupid combo with it. It's a really stupid combo. I might have in a different. I know I have it in a different deck. I don't know what deck. But it's the double proliferate, and there's a card that you tap to remove counters. And that double proliferate gives you it. So, counters. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so this one proliferates. So counters means not just -1/- and not just poison counters. So, Crinkle Bloom. Crinker Bloom is 1 and a green for a 3/2 Phyrexian fungus with pay 1, sacrifice or choose 1, destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or proliferate. Great removal or proliferate. Contagious Cavalry with Thrumming Bird. Flying hits them, proliferate. Evolutionary Stage, land hits the field, proliferate. Tekuthal, Inquirer Dominus. Proliferate twice if you would proliferate. It's got flying, and for 1 and 2 Phyrexian blue, you can remove 3 counters from among other artifacts, creatures, or planeswalkers you control, and give it indestructible. Viral Drake has flying and infect, and for 3 and a blue, you can proliferate. By golly geez, I have paid 12 to win the game. And we went over the others. Again, say it with me, everyone. More infect, more death. Draw. Yes, we have 15 draw cards. We'll go over the ones that we haven't talked about. Beast Whisperer. You cast a creature, you draw a card. Bident, Coastal, Renaissance, Toski, Orin Flame, all draw you a card when a creature deals a damage to an opponent. Bident can also be paid. You can pay 1 and a blue to tap it and make all your opponent's creatures attack if able. If they didn't play another creature this turn, that leaves them wide open for Infect. Coastal Piracy has no extra thing. Renaissance can be cycled. Orin gives them all a death touch. Toski must attack and is indestructible and can't be countered. Disdain Melody is 3 and a blue for a sorcery. Choose a creature type, draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. They're all Phyrexian, so you just name Phyrexian. Kindred Discovery, you choose a creature type, in this case, Phyrexian. Draw a card whenever you cast it, or whenever it enters the battlefield, and whenever they attack. Shamanic Revelations is the last draw card here, and it's simple. You draw a card for each creature control, and since you're running so many creatures, Shamanic Revolution just draws you a bunch, and if they happen to have more than 4 power, you gain 4 life, which means as long as your commander's on the field, you're at least getting 4. Evasion. Yeah, you got some evasion, and the one really good one is Bident the Thassa to really just rub it in. And Orin, because, like, they're going to have to block, but they're going to lose all their creatures. Interactions. Path and Swords, both, exile a target creature. Path giving them a creature, a land, a basic land, and swords, and swords giving them life. Arcane Counter Spell and Negate are all counter spells. Counter spell can hit anything. Arcane hits anything but allows them to draw 2 at the next upkeep, and you draw 1 at the next upkeep. And negate counters only non-creature spells, which is just good against board wipes, to be fair, which is usually what you use in counter spells for. Heroic Intervention gives all your permanents hexproof and indestructible turn to turn. Viridian Corruption pops the artifact, like we said, and Vraska can turn stuff into treasures. And that's a Mana Seek, a great Mana Seek, just a great way to win. Oh, actually, you know what? Pause. Staff is also a Mana Seek, really good. And here we got poison counters, which is the same. They're all poison counters. They have Infect and they do poison. Both. Protection. A few extra ones. Blight Mamba has its own protection. Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots both give a nice hexproof or shroud. And the rest have a few other protections. And then Reach is considered protection too because it helps you block flyers. And your 1 sack outlet and a tribal. That is the deck. Okay, so why would you want to run Infect? Number 1, because you hate friends. Number 2, because more Infect, more death, which is fun. Infect is a fun deck, guys. It's very aggressive. It's a very good way to just say, hey, friends, I don't like you. Stop playing with me. If you want to play intermediate or higher, and you just want the casuals to go away, tell them you're playing an Infect deck. A casual player will say, I hate Infect. Infect's not fun, it's not fair, it's not good, why would you do that? An intermediate player will go, okay, cool. A high level player will go, Infect, really? Okay, whatever. Oh, Atraxa. Well, as long as you're protecting her, this is going to be, we better go fast, guys. I know, like, in low-power games, Infect is like the aggro deck, but with Atraxa, nah, you're just going to give us each 1 Infect, and we're just going to die in 9 turns. Or sooner if you can hit us more. And if you bring it to CDH pool, they'll just laugh you away. So, it's not good. It's usually good to get 1 person out, but with Atraxa, give everyone 1 poison counter. If you can get them all 1 poison counter and then just play Protect the Atraxa, you can win. You can. That's why Atraxa is so good with Infect compared to other decks. All the 4-color commanders can be Infect decks, but Atraxa just does it better. With that out of the way, let me know what your favorite card is from the deck. Let me know who you would run if you were running an Infect deck. Let me know your opinion on Infect in general and Commander. Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.